What I find about AABC, you've got the mixture from the commercial products all the way to the fundamental understanding. So you can understand what is happening, what is needed, and where the trends in the field are, not just the hype you sometimes get in purely research conferences.
For the conference itself, the networking is very useful and important, and the content of the presentations focusing on automobile batteries is unique and very helpful for gaining a current understanding of the status of where the batteries are going in the market.
What really keeps us coming back is the level of engagement, and a lot of that is born of Menachem, sort of his prodding, his provocation, if you will, of the right topics. We think the right topics are covered here. That evolves over time, so it isn't a stagnant conference. It really evolves with the nature of our business. We find it's really relevant. We're finding the right suppliers are here, their suppliers are here, so it's really that kind of whole ecosystem of the battery world. So we find it extremely valuable, and we've become sponsors along with our colleagues through USABC, so we're really happy to be involved.
I find them to be a really great combination of industry partners, automotive companies, and then really back to the fundamentals from national labs and academia. I'm a chemist, I'm a researcher, so I really appreciate the opportunity to hear what the automotive companies are saying they want for batteries. I think my favorite talk this session so far was from Martin Winter, where he gave a really practical look at the realistic energy density of batteries from multiple parameters, so that you can't maybe fool yourself in thinking that only gravimetric energy density is important. And I really appreciated that kind of honest comparison.
We think supporting AABC very effective. Our contribution means we have to reduce CO2. Depends on electric vehicle. Batteries are very important key parts for electric vehicle, and we can see future for electric vehicle joining this conference. Most important thing to join is make a connection, every kind of people. So this is a very good chance to know each other.
It's a great conference. It has a super high bandwidth, so we see everything from lithium metal to conventional lithium ion to lithium sulfur, energy management, modeling, material science. When you look at the disciplines of the people involved, you see suppliers and you see OEMs. It's a great conference and learn a lot about what's going on in the industry today.
I find it to be a really great conference. It's kind of where the automobile battery team experts come together. I find it invaluable to be able to come and find out what other automakers are doing. There's a lot of good information sharing, and the different technical tracks are really helpful for those that want to concentrate in on the details of the chemistry down into the electrodes, and the rest of us are more at the pack system level. So it's really something for everybody in those areas. And I think the most valuable thing I find for AABC is the quality of the talks that we see are really excellent, and the automakers and the cell suppliers and the other participants in the conference really do share a lot of valuable information that they may not disclose at other conferences.
The AABC meeting is what I consider the premier automotive battery meeting in the world. By far, there's nothing that comes close. If you want to know about automotive batteries, especially the next generation batteries, this is the place to be. We're starting to hear more about 48 volt and 12 volt systems as well. And so there's a great benefit not only for myself, but also GM. GM is one of the largest attendees at this meeting. We typically have a dozen or more people attend because we do get such value out of this meeting.
The beautiful thing about it is that it's a very diverse place in terms of energy storage. All the time there's new topics that are coming on board, and so very often it's not just simply recycling of some of the old. However, you see the evolution of that, and we've seen a lot. And I think that this medium captures it really well. What you've been seeing a lot are just the free flow of discussions, usually not always right in front in the audience, but when you have the chance to do the one-on-one, that's when you actually get a lot of very interesting discussions going. And there's been a lot of camaraderie and a lot of long-term relationships, both professionally and personally, that have been made because of this organization and because of this activity.
What I most enjoy is the interactions, networking, and also excellent technical papers that I've been enjoying. You learn a lot here, and from the latest what's going on and kind of being focused automotive, that's what I enjoy most. What I've seen here is the collection of interesting papers, a little bit newer than the last couple of years, and I enjoyed one on the microstructure and looking at microscope going into the cell and batteries. I enjoyed that very much, and I'm looking forward to networking again in the next few years and kind of be able to work with colleagues and interact and find ways to collaborate.
Well, it's certainly a great place to meet people, but it's a very good place to see what are other people doing in areas that you typically don't engage in. I think the best part at ABC is the networking opportunity, because we get to meet people who work in related areas of research or who work in subsets of lithium battery research, but you're not completely familiar with the field. And we are able to educate them, and we are able to connect with them, and oftentimes these meetings lead to collaborations that are beneficial to both organizations.
Coming to a conference like this is extremely important because it helps us to understand what's going on in the market. We hope to gain some insights that we wouldn't have gotten otherwise without being here.
I find the topics that has been chosen for the fuel cell track is very relevant at a top level. What is still needed to overcome the challenges. Interesting talks given by the OEMs, which is valuable for an industrial component supplier like IAD. From a networking point of view, I also think it has been organized very well. There are good time in between the sessions for people to communicate, engage. So I can only recommend everybody to be part of the next upcoming AABC.